You push hard in your workouts. You feel strong, like you're building something real. But a hidden force is pulling the rug out from under all that effort. It makes your blood thick, chokes your muscles, and forces your heart to work overtime just to keep up. Everything you earn in the gym gets silently undone the moment you take that next puff. This isn't just about bad for you. It's about a war inside your body. That war inside your body, it's real and it's not a fair fight. You might think you can outtrain the effects of smoking, but the science says otherwise. It's not about your effort or your willpower. Researchers proved this with a big study on people in the US Navy. They found that the smokers had way less endurance, both for running and for things like sit-ups. And here's the crazy part. That was true even when they compared people who worked out the exact same amount. A smoker simply couldn't reach the same fitness level. So what's really going on? It comes down to two main culprits: nicotine and carbon monoxide. These two things from cigarette smoke get into your blood, make it thicker, and actually narrow the pathways to your muscles. Your heart has to work harder just to do its job, and your muscles are starved for the oxygen they need to perform. So let's zoom in on that carbon monoxide. You can think of it as an oxygen thief, and it's incredibly good at its job. When you inhale smoke, this gas slips into your bloodstream and immediately goes after your red blood cells. It literally hijacks the very spots that are reserved for oxygen. It's like someone with a fake ticket stealing the best seat on a bus and refusing to get up. Once carbon monoxide locks in, it holds on tight, leaving fewer and fewer spots available for the oxygen you desperately need for your workout. Your muscles, your heart, your brain, they all start running low on fuel. It's a quiet suffocation happening on the inside. And it doesn't take much. We're not just talking about heavy smokers here. Research shows that even a few cigarettes a day can seriously damage your body's ability to use oxygen the right way. Your muscles simply can't get what they need to perform at their best. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Your body knows something is wrong. It senses the oxygen shortage and tries to fight back, but in a really strange way. It thinks the problem is a lack of delivery trucks, so in a desperate move, it starts producing more hemoglobin. That's the protein in your red blood cells that oxygen is supposed to grab onto. One study actually found that people who smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day have about 3.5% more hemoglobin than non-smokers. On the surface, that almost sounds like a superpower, right? Your body is adapting. It's building a bigger delivery fleet to solve the problem. Except it's a completely useless fix. It doesn't matter how many extra trucks you build if the thief is still hijacking them the second they leave the garage. That's exactly what the science shows. The big Navy study proved it. Even though smokers' bodies were trying to compensate by making more hemoglobin, they still had way lower endurance. For both running and muscle-based exercises. It's the ultimate proof that your body simply can't outsmart the poison. It's trying to bail out a sinking ship with a teaspoon. But the attack on your body doesn't stop with just stealing oxygen. There's another assault happening at the exact same time, and this one is all about creating a traffic jam. The main culprit here is nicotine. The second it hits your system, it acts like a switch that tells your blood vessels to squeeze shut. Think of it like someone stepping on a garden hose. Your arteries, the superhighways that carry blood all over your body, literally get narrower. So right away, less blood can get through. But it gets worse. While the highways are shrinking, the traffic on them is getting thicker. The chemicals and smoke make your blood physically stickier and sludgier. It's less like water and more like syrup. And remember how your body tries to make more red blood cells to carry oxygen? Well, that just adds more cars to the traffic jam, making the blood even thicker and harder to move. Now put those two things together, you have thicker, sludgier blood trying to force its way through pipes that are being squeezed tighter and tighter. Can you imagine what that does to your heart? It has to work incredibly hard just to pump this thick sludge through a constricted system. This is why smoking raises your resting heart rate. Your heart is already under serious strain before you've even taken a single step on the treadmill. It's fighting an uphill battle just to keep things moving at a standstill. So when you finally do start your workout and your muscles are screaming for that fresh blood packed with oxygen and nutrients, the delivery system is already choked off. There's a bottleneck. The vital supplies simply can't get where they need to go when they need to be there. Your performance doesn't just dip, it hits a hard ceiling it can't break through. So what does that bottleneck actually feel like during a real workout? It's not just a theory. This is a measurable physical drag on your performance, even if you're already in great shape. Researchers proved this when they studied over 3,000 active duty Navy members. These are fit people, not couch potatoes, and the results were crystal clear. The smokers consistently performed worse. They had lower endurance on their 1.5-mile runs and couldn't do as many sit-ups. But here's the most important part. The researchers made sure to account for how much everyone exercised, and they found that it wasn't just that smokers worked out less. The act of smoking itself was the direct reason for their lower performance. It was physically holding them back, no matter how hard they trained. So how does it all come together to completely suffocate your gains? Well, on top of the blood flow problems we've talked about, there's another enemy at play: tar. The tar from cigarette smoke literally coats the tiny, delicate air sacs in your lungs. It makes them stiff and less elastic. This means your lungs get way less efficient at their main job, pulling oxygen out of the air you breathe. So right from the start, you're working with less fuel. Then there's the final piece of the puzzle, your heart rate. Because your heart has to work so hard to push that thick blood through narrow pipes, a smoker's resting heart rate is already higher than a non-smoker's. Your heart is already under stress before you've even tied your shoes. It has less room to ramp up when you start exercising. Now let's put this entire devastating picture together. You're breathing in less effective oxygen because tar is gumming up your lungs. The little bit of oxygen that does get in is being hijacked by carbon monoxide. That oxygen-starved blood is now a thick sludge struggling to get through arteries that are being squeezed shut by nicotine. And the pump forcing it all through this broken system? Your heart. It's already overworked and tired before you even take your first step. Your muscles are screaming for fuel, but the supply lines are cut. This is the final blow. It's why your endurance craters, your strength stalls, and your recovery takes forever. You're fighting a war against your own body, and you're losing before the workout even begins. So we've unmasked the hidden war. Smoking doesn't just make you unfit, it actively steals oxygen, chokes your blood flow, and relentlessly overworks your heart, canceling out every ounce of effort you put in. But here's the empowering truth. Your body wants to heal. When you quit, circulation improves, your resting heart rate drops, and your lungs start repairing. Suddenly, your muscles can finally get the fuel they've been starved for. And even better, working out can actually help you quit, making the journey to reclaim your fitness even stronger. If you're ready to win this war, to truly take back your strength and keep uncovering the secrets to peak performance, then hit subscribe. Don't miss what's next in your fight to build your strongest self.